there are actually 10 specific skills that I learned outside of sales. Outside of sales, these are high influence human skills of massive influence. And when I went to, I'm going to mute you here. When I went to so many trainings, when I was fed up of just learning more sales and it just made me worse, I decided to go outside of sales and look for other ways to become better, not just at being a human, but better at actually, how do I influence people? How do I actually, like, how do I communicate in a way that gets people to um, move forward in not just like sales, but in life. And so over the years, I discovered that one of the reasons why I was so successful in sales, one of the reasons why I was on the same account as so many closers and I was always number one, was because I had these communication skills. I had these skills of influence that I didn't realize I had. And so I unpacked and went backwards and said, wait a second, these are actually the 10 things that allowed me to really have objectionless closes. And so today, if there was just one of them that I would share with you, and inject it into your all's nervous system, into your mind, into your sales process, that would move the sale forward the fastest. It's this one, the one I'm sharing with you today. And this one specifically is called embodied influence. See, there's influence and then there's embodied influence. So we're going to go deeper on what that is and how you can inject it. And I'm going to break it down in the process. I'm also going to do a little bit of Q&A with you all afterwards. I would like to also do if someone has a call that they want to do what I call a call surgery, where I actually look at your call. And I'm not going to look at your call from a point of reference of what you said. It's actually what you did or didn't do, who you were being, that created the objections. Who showed up that created the objections? So I'm really curious, does anybody here have a call that available right now that they would like to be surgically reviewed? So raise your hand or drop in the chat the word yes if you have a call where I could give you surgical savage feedback where you lost a sale and actually what you could do differently from that lens of embodied influence, what I'm going to be teaching you all today. So if you do, put it in the chat so I can get a gauge. Let me see. Anybody. And if not, then we can come up with we'll just do more Q&A coaching. Okay. Anybody have a call? Anna Paula, do you have a call? Sorry, on a train. Okay, no problem. If you do have a call at any point, you all let me know. But otherwise, we are going to continue. So I'm going to open up my screen here, and we're going to jump into embodied influence. Again, this is a extremely powerful skill. Before I get into this, I'm going to ask you all, what does embodied influence mean to you? Actually, what's the word influence mean to you? So put in the chat. What does the word influence mean to you? Like, defining the word influence is the first step. What does influence mean to you? So put in the chat, what does it mean to you? Jennifer, what does it mean to you? Anna Paula, I know you're on the train. What does that mean to you? Kendra, what does that mean to you? I know you're there, Miss Waldman. To persuade. Okay. To persuade, to leave a mark. Got it. Yeah, influence is to, in my opinion, is to make them feel something, to compel them from a place of desire to do something different, right? Influence is a mechanism to get somebody, not get them, but to actually do something to evoke this. I like the word evoke, something inside of them to actually do something different, because of something that you said or who that was actually showing up behind that, right? Now, embodied influence, what does that mean? I'd love to hear, what does embodied influence mean to you? So the word embodied influence. There's influence in my mind, tactically wise, right? But what does embodied influence mean to you? Embodied. Sierra says, persuade in a positive manner. Okay. Be the influencer. Ooh, I like that. Being the influencer. Yeah. There's something besides, I love that, that besides doing, like you're doing something to someone versus being the influence is exactly what embodied influence is. Rather than trying to do something, because regular sales, training, sales trainers, the sales world, the high ticket world, a lot of these people, you see them, they're training a tactic to do something to get a result rather than being the thing that gets the result for the person, to for them to compel them to actually make a decision in themselves from who you're being, right? You're being a leader, or are you being passive, or are you being a leader, right? Are you being decisive, or are you being confident, right? Are you being afraid, or are you being a leader? So these different ways of being that we can literally try on. I want you to think of this as like it's an outfit. You go to a closet. There's different parts of you that you get to access, right? That if we don't access these parts of us and bring them online into with a prospect, and we just kind of hide it, and we just become, this is the only parts of us I'm going to show because this is what I think it should look like, then we're not actually using our body, our system, our ways of being of influence to influence somebody to make a decision that's best for themselves, or influence them to move the sale forward or move the conversation forward. Okay. So, yes, I love that. Being the influence. Now, as we go along through this, the first thing I want to talk about with you is simply understanding that embodied influence is the ability to actually shift from what you say to who is showing up on the call or not on a call. It doesn't matter. I'm going to say this again. Embodied influence is the ability to shift from what you say to who is showing up to get the results. Okay. Doesn't matter with sales. This is also in life. This is how we measure our results. The results are measured from who we're being, not from what we're doing. Who we're being, not from what we're doing. So, like, if you shift the who behind the what, right, it becomes automatic. We can measure our results from that place. Now, embody influence is the ability to shift from the what, again, the script. Think of the what like the script. The what is the mechanism. The what is the strategy, the sales strategy, right? The mechanism, the thing that we're going to do, the tactic, right? The script, the discovery, the objection handling, right? It doesn't matter. Whatever the what is, we're going to shift from that to the who, the man, the person, to generate the yes. And I'm going to say this again because I want you all to hear this. Okay. To generate the yes, the entire goal or outcome of a sales call is to what? Have them make a decision, a decision, a decision of what path they're going to take, solo or invitation into this path. Are they going to go solo or this path? That's it. At the end of a call, it's an enrollment call. Are they going to go path A or path B? Right. So to generate a yes for them, if you actually generated a no, you caused that and you created that. Again, you caused that yes, and you caused that no from the who that was showing up. And so if you understand that mechanism, right, you have the most powerful part of you that can actually influence them to say yes or to say no. I can't tell you how many times I have actually audited sales calls, and the first thing that I see is the salesperson, the person, the call that they actually created the objections. They created them. They created them from specifically what was said on the call or wasn't said, their body language, their background. It created resistance inside the prospect. Now, when we go through this, again, the who is the person who showed up for the prospect, right? That's us. We're the influencer, just like you had said, right? We're the cause, meaning you are the cause of them saying yes or no. And you are the creator. So if you're the cause of them saying yes or no from who you're being and how you're showing up for them, then that means what? That means you're also the creator. You are also the creator of them saying yes. You're the creator of the result by who you're being to influence them to that outcome. And the whole breakdown of this, again, comes from mechanism versus intention. This is all going to make sense in a second because we're going to go through an experience here. We're going to together. So the mechanism, there's mechanism and then there's intention. I really want you to understand this. The mechanism, again, is the script, the strategy, the process. This is what most people in sales or business, they're looking for the strategy. They're looking for the thing, right? But then again, there's the intention. So think about it like mechanism, the thing, I want the strategy, I want the tactic, and then there's the intention, right? The intention is your vision, your focus, your mindset, one's own psychology, the state, the way of being, right? It's the intangible. You can't actually see it. It's intangible, right? You can feel it, but you can't see it. So think about it like this. Think about it like this, right? I want you to think about a time when you were on a sales call and you had no idea why they said no, right? They had no idea. It was you know you could solve their problem. You know exactly that you could help them. They said they want help. They said that they want to solve their problem. They said they love your offer. They love your opportunity, right? But it still didn't move forward. So I want you to put in the chat, if this has been you before, I want you to put that in the chat. Yes, that was me. And the reason I say that is because most of the time when that happens, it's because that person is selling from mechanism and not intention, right? They're selling from mechanism and not intention. Because what actually gets a deal or a sale forward, to move the sale forward, is the psychology and the emotion behind what the prospect is feeling and experiencing in relationship with you. And that generates the results, right? So if they see this is the perfect widget, the perfect product, the perfect thing, it is perfect, right? Then what happens is that doesn't compel them to actually take action, because people only buy when they feel like it, right? And so they justify from logic and actually move forward from feelings, and their mindset is in a state for them to say yes. And you, us, are the highest leverage point to move them forward from creating the state that we want them to feel. Just like yesterday, I had created an experience. We'd gone through the sales OS, and I created an experience in your mind where I took you out of your mind and into your body, right? When we painted the payoff of the future, right? That was bypassing the mechanism and going right into intention of an experience of feeling. So what generates 100% of your results? I want you to put this in the chat. What do you feel generates 100% of your results? Meaning, in order to get a 100% close rate, yes, I'm going to say this, 100% close rate, is it the script or is it the intangible? The intangible, so they feel like saying yes. The tangible, so it's actually you. Is it you, right? The intention, and is it them, like that relationship on that call, right? And what's actually showing up in that experience of how they're feeling, or is it the mechanisms? But is it 80% mechanism? Is it 20% mechanism and 20% intention? So put it in the chat. What do you think generates 100% of the results, which means, in this sense, the outcome of getting the sale to the decision of a yes? I'm curious to see. On a follow call. Amazing. So is it 100% mechanism? Is it 100% intention? What do you think? Is it 80% intention? I want you to put inside of the chat. What do you think? Actually, drives the call to a yes 100% of the time to a close. 80% intention. Okay. So the only way to truly, for all of you, to actually experience this, right? Truly experience this at the highest level and understand it is by going through an experience. And so how I want to do this is, and we're going to see, let me move this over. There we go. Okay. This is how we're going to do it. So actually, I'm going to take this out because we're a little smaller. We're going to do a little experiment. So I want to do an experiment. Okay. So we have, how many people we have on here? We have Jennifer. We have Kendra. We have Abraham. We have got Connie. We've got Sierra. We got Aaron, and we got a Zoom user. So what I want to do is I am going to, if you are here and you are actually here and you can hear my voice and you can participate in a 2-minute or less exercise, I want you to take yourself, actually put in the chat, and this is going to really be important to land this point of intention versus mechanism so we can apply it right to your sales. If you're here and you're available, put in the chat. You can take yourself off mute, not right now, but when we say it, because we're going to go off mute, we're doing exercise together. I want to know that you're available. If not, if you don't say yes in the chat, I'll assume that you're not. So if you are available, put the word yes in the chat. Put the word yes in the chat. Jennifer's available. Sierra's available. Okay. That'll change the dynamic of the exercise. We've got 2. We got Aaron's available. Excellent. Aaron's available. So we got 3 available. This is perfect. This is perfect. Let's see. Kendra. I know Kendra's not. I know. Okay. So we got 3. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to do an exercise. We're going to do this in 30. Let's give it a minute. In 1 minute. So what's going to happen is Jennifer, Sierra, and Aaron, you're going to take yourself off mute. And I'm going to give you 60 seconds to introduce yourself with your name, okay, where you're from, right? And also you're going to share your favorite food. Okay, what is your name, where you're from, and your favorite food? I'm going to give you all, Kendra says driving, wife in and wife out. Okay, I'm going to give you all 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Okay. Name, where you're from, and what's your favorite food. Okay. So all you do is come off camera, share, and the goal is to have all 3 of you share your name, where you're from, and your favorite food. 30 seconds. And then I promise you, we're going to land this. It'll all make sense. Ready? Yes? Thumbs up? Give me some love? Okay. All right. And here we go.
Jennifer Smith, outside of Chicago, Illinois. Pizza.
And what to do in the event of an emergency.
Sierra, Missouri,
20
and
seconds.
Beverages and
seafood.
travel items delivered to you.
My name is Aaron Nelson. I'm from Hampstead, Maryland, and I love chicken parm.
10 seconds. All right, we got everybody. Ana Paula, how about you?
Sorry, I got disconnected because I'm in the
That's
train.
right.
What am I supposed to say?
Name, favorite food, and where are you from?
Ana Paula, everybody calls me AP. I
Mhm.
live in Miami, and my favorite food, I'm a foodie, so that's a
Time.
tough question.
There it is. Okay, perfect. Amazing. Why did we do that? Why did we do that? Let me tell you exactly why we did that. Right? Did you need a script to do that? Yes or no? No. Did you need a strategy to do that? Yes or no? No. Did you need a plan? Yes or no? You had a plan, right? But that's it. This is what I want to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you have a clear intention? Yes or no?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The intention was clear, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Right? The mechanism followed from that. Like you all figured it out, right? The order you figured out, the the process you figured out. Like you all figured it out, right? You didn't have to like, how am I going to do this? What's the objection handling thing? What's the strategy? What's the process? Is she going to go first? Am I going to go first? Right? It didn't matter. And I could have even said 15 seconds and you all would have figured it out. You all would have done it in 15 seconds, right? Because it's not to the script, it's the intention. So if my intention is to be present with all of you, it doesn't matter what I say. If my intention is that, the mechanism of what I say will come out. Right? If I'm with a prospect and they say I need to think about it, right? If they literally say I need to think about it, right? And my intention specifically is to, when they say it, is how, like what is going, like how can I be curious with them? My intention is being curious, and that's it, right? I'm going to be curious with this person. And then guess what happens? You become curious because your intention actually creates the curiosity. It creates the words. It creates the tracks. This is the opposite of what most salespeople, sales trainers teach. They teach the track, right? And then the who becomes afterwards. No, this is the who, right? The embodied version of you, the intention versus the mechanism, right? Because then it becomes, who are you being inside of the mechanism? I'm going to say this again. If you focus on the mechanism, who are you being inside the mechanism? Who are you being inside the objective handling? Who are you being inside the discovery? Who are you being in that moment? Are you in your head, not present, or are you with them? Y'all track that? Are you right? So even if I give out a sales process, right? The more it's scripty, the more it is, how do I say? The more it is too many words, the more that you become less present with the person. And presence is exactly, your presence creates trust. And that trust makes them feel safe. And with that safety, you can hear them. And when you can hear them, you can actually repeat back what they're saying and be with them. And when you do that, they actually feel like you care about them. And people buy because they feel like it. So if you're in the mechanism, will that create objections? Yes. Yes. So I'm going to pause right here because now we landed this right now. I want to have you all, like one person share. What are you taking right now? What are you hearing from this? Ana Paula? Since you're here, since you popped on, what are you hearing for yourself here?
I know it's very contradictory from where I am because I know I'm in the train, but I need to be present with my calls, and connect as more as a human being, from the human being.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, versus the mechanism, which is what? What is mechanism?
The asking the questions like, why and what.
The perfect question. Focusing on the questions is the mechanism versus I'm here for you to see how I can help you. How can I help you? How are you today? What can I do for you? Where are you struggling? Why is that happening? Versus the perfect questions or the 5 questions in the process. Right? So that's the driver of the yes. Now, if you have both, you're unstoppable. If you master the who and body influence of the who and the what, you're unstoppable. Like it is inarguable. Like you have the highest leverage of influence at that point when you have both. So it's not that both don't matter. It's that if I were to take away all the scripts, all the frameworks, all the questions, and the only thing I had left was embodied influence. And I could teach someone from scratch influence from who they're being that's causing or creating the yes. And they never learned a script. They would 100% outbeat everybody because they're not programmed or conditioned specifically on a process, right? And I proved this to be true. And this is how. 2020, I had never learned sales in my life. And I had been in sales 15 years prior. I was a GM for a Skechers store as a sales manager, like training salespeople to sell a fucking shoe. Right. In 2010, I had 4 different fitness boot camps in Connecticut where I had locations and I sold people into my programs. I sold personal training from 2004 to 2010. I've been in sales, but I wasn't formally trained until 2021. And I say that because the moment I learned sales skills, I got worse. I talked about this on day one, right? I got worse because I wasn't me, right? I lost the who. I lost the enthusiasm. I lost the energy. I lost the presence and the connection for the person. So that, and it's interesting because the moment I stopped that in 2021, I stopped training with, I talked about this on day one. I said, Matt Ryder and Sales Sniper, like, I'm not coming to training anymore. And I started doing more leadership training and working on myself. Like my income doubled. My commissions went from 250 to 5 to 700,000 per year for the next 3 years because I stopped training in sales completely. I trained in Jerry Minor stuff and all that, the process stuff. And in that 6-month period of time, I got worse. Right? In 2020, when I got on my first high ticket offer account, I remember I was closing most of the deals within 15 to 20 minutes because I didn't have a sales process. I had a framework I understood like problem possibility. If people have a problem, this is what they want, where are they at, where they want, what's in the way, what do we need, and then what's required to cross the gap. Just like I talked about yesterday in the transformational selling process. Where are you at? What do you want? Like, what's in the way, right? What happens if you don't solve this? What's required to cross the gap? It's the simple sales process. I understood that always. So with that, like we could get somebody across the line. I can get someone across the line in 5 to 10 to 15, 20 minutes versus having to take an hour because I didn't have a strategy. It was just me. So that's why this is really important. Now, I'm going to go back into this and we're going to go a little bit deeper on this. So I want you all to say out loud or type it in the chat. Type it in the chat. I am the cause of objections. I create them. I am the cause of objections. I create them. Yes, you are. You are the cause. If you understand that I am the cause of them and I create them, then you can show up differently to realize you're creating them from what you said or didn't say, just like we talked about. So there's event, reaction, and outcome. I'm going to teach you and train you guys on this right now, right? The event is the objection. Okay. Your reaction is driven by your state. So there's the event, right? Objection. There's the event. You know, it could be even, let's just go with objection, right? There's an event, objection. You react, right? You react instantly and your state follows, right? And it shapes the outcome of what you say or don't say. So with that, here's an example. I call this 1.0 and 2.0. Right? The 1.0 weak seller and then the 2.0 reaction seller, right? Excuse me, the 1.0 reaction seller and the 2.0 responding seller. That should say responding, not reaction for 2.0. Reactive responding, the savage seller or the weak seller, the 1.0, the 2.0. The 1.0 in that same objection situation, how they handled it is internally. Again, this is internally. They get an objection and they're thinking, oh shit, I'm losing the deal. I need to save this. Like, I'm fucked. I'm losing the deal. I need to push harder. I need to, right? Or the opposite happens, right? It's like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do. So you let them go. Your outcome is you let them go from that internal state. You just let them go and say, cool, let's book a follow-up, right? Because your internal state creates a state, or your internal mind creates a state, right? If it's the, oh shit, I'm losing the deal. I need to save this. I need to push harder so that I don't lose them, right? Your state is rushed, needy, overthinking. It's forceful. It's seeking approval. It's attached, right? And then again, you respond by over-explaining. You're pitching too much. Over-explaining is the biggest one. I see this all the time. They just keep talking. But that's the outcome. Remember, E, there's an event, objection. There's the reaction, which is what's going on internally for the person. And then there's the state that salesperson is having, and then how they respond, right? Which creates what? The outcome, which is they lose a sale. So this is me showing you in real time that we are the cause and creator of the objection, right? Meaning how you respond, right, is how they respond. Okay. So this stops this 1.0 reaction. And by the way, this is not just objections. This is in the pitch. This is in the objective handling. This is in the discovery. This is in the first 3 minutes. So if you understand this and you're aware, we're constantly in a place where we are we are having to always battle an uphill battle of not them feeling safe to open up and go deeper, because we're always in reaction mode to what is. It doesn't move the sale forward. What moves the sale forward is responding from a savage seller 2.0 state, right? So for example, same thing happens. There's an objection, right? The internal, right? The internal is what? The intention, by the way. Internal is intention, right? Objection comes up. I need to think about it internally. Good. This is a moment. This is internally, right? Consciously, internally. The salesperson is thinking, good. This is a moment that I get to go deeper, right? And stay present and lead them. I get to stay present and lead them. I get to stay present and lead them. So right now, if this is not foreign to you, right, then I would suggest, I don't have it to show right now, but get a piece of paper that says, I am curious. When objection comes up, I am curious, right? I am staying present. I am present with this person. So you can see it to insert that intention into that before you start reacting from a default intention. That's a reaction, which is the 1.0. Because if you understand that now and you do that and you write that out, what happens? Objection comes up. It doesn't matter what you say. The track doesn't matter. The sequence doesn't matter. It's the who that's showing up. It's driven from the state and the internal, right? You will say the thing that needs to be said if you have a piece of paper that you're reading that says, I am curious. I wonder. You will just ask those questions naturally as a human being. I'm curious on what makes you say that. I'm curious on what's actually underneath that. I'm curious on what's your main concern, because it sounded like you have this problem and you knew that we could help you out. So I'm really curious, what is really the main concern, right? And what's the outcome of that? Trust, vulnerable trust. And like, this person cares about me. I'm going to open up and tell more of the truth, and we'll actually uncover the question that wasn't asked. Right? An unanswered question. Because remember, the objections happen when a question is unanswered or not asked. So if you as the salesperson, we didn't actually ask the right question to actually evoke them to feel safe enough to say yes, then it's because we created that. Again, a objection is an infected question that wasn't asked, or like asked from the salesperson, or you didn't give the space for them to ask questions. The questions open up the space, and when there's no more questions on both ends, the sale moves forward. It's inarguable. The sale won't move forward. What questions do you have about me? Let me ask more questions about you. What's underneath that? What's the main concern? Like, right? Deeper questions. Questions are everything. So from there, now that we understand that moves the sale forward, we can go into the deeper understanding of this whole piece of it. So this right here is the actual states itself. And now I'm going to go through this so you understand it. We're always moving the sale forward, or we're not. We're always moving the sale forward or moving the sale backwards every single second we are on a sales call. Always. From who we're being, from our intention, from the who that's showing up. So there's 1.0 states, the weak seller, and again, 2.0 states. When I say 1.0 states is when somebody is in overthinking, uncertain. When someone is in overthinking, when somebody is in uncertainty, absolute uncertainty, right? When they're hesitant, when they're doubtful, when they're passive, right? And you all know these states. When you're in these states, when you're confused, when you are thinking about yourself, you're second guessing, these will move the sale backwards, right? And when you're in those states, they create an emotion inside of us. What's the emotion? We're anxious. We're fragile, right? We're pressured. We're needy. This is the actual emotion that's coming up, and our energy becomes rushed, impatient. It's controlling. We're in fight or flight mode. And what happens in the outcome of the relationship, right? Well, we're overly friendly. My screen's super blurry. Okay, let me see. Let's see. second. Here, let me see. I'm gonna put these in the WhatsApp group so you all can see them here. You got it. All right. These are all in the WhatsApp group right there. And if you're not in the WhatsApp group, I think most of you are. But if for some reason you are not inside the WhatsApp group, I'm going to drop the link right here for you. Yep. So that's inside now. So that you all can get inside. There we go. So you should have access to that. So again, 1.0 states, right? 2.0 states. So 2.0 states are the states that actually move the sale forward constantly. So when I'm looking on a sales call, right, we're either moving the sale forward or backwards. I see it. I can see it in real time like a surgeon, right? Your mind, right, constantly throughout the call must be in a state of certainty, clarity. You must be focused. You must be like aware and present minded in the moment. You must be decisive. And in some cases, you must be rigorous, like willing to ask the questions with the prospect that are necessary to go deeper, being willing to do that, right? Your energy, which is more of the states, is patient, relaxed, open. We're in a flow. We're powerful without force. We're powerful. Like right now, I'm in my power, right? You can feel me, right? I would still show up this way on a call. Not the whole time, but it's like, remember I told you, it's like a hat. I'll try the hat on when I need to slow down and be present. I can do that. I can access the part of me that's slow, that's present, that's patient, that's relaxed. I can access that. But when I need to get more in a flow, a power of energy to move something, move some energy, I can. Right? But I'm always in this grounded, calm, composed state, confident and relaxed. So these are all the parts that we get to access to move the sale forward. But if we're scattered, right? If we're in self-doubt, right? If we're in any of those mechanisms, right? If we are scattered, if we are in self-doubt, if we're thinking about ourselves and we're not focused on the person, we're not present, we're scattered. We're distracted, we're present. We're distracted, we're present. 1.0, 2.0. You see how that works? Literally, I want you to all look at your calls, right? Forever from this moment forward, because this skill of embodied influence, of seeing who is showing up, is it 1.0, is it 2.0? Is it the weak seller or is it the savage seller? Right? Is the difference between you closing 1 sale a week and 2 sales a week and 3, 4, and 5? Right? It's the difference between you having a 20% close rate and a 50% close rate, because of the who that's showing up moment to moment, even when it matters most, which is all the time. So I'm going to pause right there. I want to hear from all of you. Anapala, you're here. Jennifer, what are you taking right now? Let's have a quick conversation. What are you taking right now from this? What are you hearing for yourself?
That I need to go back to the slide you shared, but being definitely more control of my, like I'm a people pleaser, so I need to be more in control of that. And I get excited with the when we find a solution, when I go through the discovery, we find a solution, we identify that that we have the product that's going to help them solve their issues.
Yeah.
I think I get so excited that kind of shadows. And that's when I think like I'm not doing myself any favor. So by seeing this slide, I think, like I seem to attach maybe to them.
Yeah, I like how you said that. That's important because the pattern becomes people pleaser, right? That's the manifestation of of the who that's showing up, right? And overly communicating, overly friendly, right? And the shift from there is into being a leader, being friendly to being a leader. What does a leader do? They lead. right? Like I can be super friendly with you and I can put the people pleaser. I want you to feel good about me so I can help you, which is actually the mindset you have. I said this the other day. When you're in people pleaser, that what you're internally in, like this is subconscious, but the internal intention is, in order to lead you and serve you and help you, you must like me. So again, that's still intentional, but it's unintentional. Remember, everything's is intention or mechanism. So that's the unintentional intention, right? Versus I am going to lead you, right? Regardless if you like me, to actually help you get what you want, because you matter more than me. So now it's changing the intention of how you're committed to show up. Right? You matter more than me, so I'm going to ask you questions, even if it's uncomfortable for me, because I care so much about you. See, again, everything starts with the intention, the mind, and then the state follows. The energy follows. Okay? What are you hearing from that for you? What are you hearing from that? Go ahead. What are you hearing from that for yourself?
Changing that it's me, like I want to connect with the leads. I truly want to help them. Being extra, I don't know, almost. And that's, and I think I found why I'm not closing. And even though I'm in a B2B, which is more formal, more executive, I can be more business. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. No. Yeah. Even being fun is 2.0. Being rigid is 1.0. Being fun is 2.0. Right. So if I looked at one of your calls, which I know you dropped, I would look at, are you being fun? Are you being rigid?
Yes, I have managed to be fun, and I have
in general. I see so many people they're being so serious, right? They're like, whoa, let go. That's the 1.0, right? Yeah.
I think I have managed in the last, but it's recent. Like I've managed to like really laugh, because I truly enjoy this offer. And I think what you can find and maybe pleasing my business owner, that call that you're going to see is with the business owner. And so I think I'm making the mistake of not only pleasing, forget about the lead, I'm pleasing the business owner there.
Yes.
And that's so bad.
Yes.
Like now it's like.
For sure. Well, thank you for sharing. I want to come back in. I'm going to bring you out for a second. There we go. Back in. We're going to go back in here. So you all understand that now. I think we've definitely landed that point here. Now, with that being said, what I want to make sure that we continue to do is look deeper on, here we go, on auditing yourself. Where do you operate from? Just for a moment. I want you to audit yourself. Where do you operate from right now? 1.0 or 2.0? Like the whole call. Are you in those 2.0 states? Those empowering states, those states that move the sale forward? Or are you hesitant? Are you second guessing? Are you doubtful? Are you in the people pleaser? Are you overly friendly? Are you logical? Are you overthinking? Right? Where are you right now? Here we go, Jennifer. All right. And I want you to put percentage, by the way. The way I like to do this is a percentage. Is it like 80% 2.0? Right? Even when if I audit my own calls, I'm like, who showed up? Right? Because if I'm feeling weak or less energy, that's going to change the outcome of the call. If I'm not accessing my energy, if I'm accessing the parts of me that actually bring the sales call alive. 80%. Okay. Jennifer's got that. Yeah. So just being, honest with yourself. Right? Biggest thing I see a lot of people is like they're flat. Like there's no energy on there. And it's so interesting because you have energy. Right? You speak to your mom or your partner or your girlfriend, your boyfriend, or whatever it is, and you speak like this. You have a little bit of energy. You have a little bit of natural excitement. But then when we got on a call, it's like a different human being. I'm like, what the heck? Like is that you or is that like the inauthentic you? It's not you. So being you, right, is 2.0, accessing those states with intention, right? With intention. So thank you all for sharing where you're at. What pattern would the outcomes would make the outcomes change the outcomes? So like which one of these patterns here, right? Which one of these energies, is it relaxed, open? Is it patient? Is it steady? Is it emotionally calm? Is it confident, relaxed? Would actually influence the outcome of the sale, right? For you that you get to step into right now. What's the one that would influence the most? Right. So I want you to write that in the chat. What's the one? What's the one? What's the one that would influence the most? So to really land this with all of you, is sales is not what is said. It's what they feel from who you're being. That's it. That's it. Right? That's as simple as that. And who I need to be for them to finally say yes is who. Who do I need to be? I want you to put that in the chat. Who do you need to be for them to say yes? Right? Sometimes it's more rigorous. Sometimes it's more loving. Sometimes it's like for the prospect. Who do you need to be? Who do you get to be? Who do you get to be for them to say yes to themselves? More passionate, right? More love, more energy, right? Because that's how we move the sale to a close. More of a leader, yes, being a leader. So when you master your state, you create trust, and it moves the sale forward. It moves the sale forward. So I'm going to pause for Q&A. I'm going to pause for Q&A. For Q&A. Q&A for you individually. What questions do you all have that I can answer for you about what we just covered? What current questions do you have for me right now in this moment? Who has some questions? Take yourself off mute. You're welcome to take yourself off mute. Right? When we talk about sales, we talk about this, the embodied influence, this one skill. Again, there are 10 skills, but this is the most powerful skill. What questions do you have in regards to you, your offer, when it comes to this? Share with me what is that? You can type it in the chat, or you can come off mute. And these might be like the how questions. How do you do this? Why is this? Maybe to unpack a little bit deeper.
Mine's not really a question. It's kind of observation.
Observation's great. We can just add some context. That works too. Sure.
Like outside of this role of being, a high ticket closer, I'm like the complete opposite in my natural environment, natural habitat. And it's like I get into this and I get into a call and it's like I lose all, I guess, yeah, I'm like losing all what myself is, like the confidence, the leadership, being secure, being passionate, being,
Mhm.
So I don't know. I'm like, again, it's not really a question. It's just kind of like an observant viewpoint of what is happening. I'm kind of confused why. Haven't figured that out yet, but yeah, it's really affecting my calls.
Okay. Yeah. So thank you for sharing that. And what I'm hearing is that there's a part of you that feels like it's causing, that's not showing up as much as you know is possible. That's kind of getting in the way of helping them. Is that what I'm hearing under the surface?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. There's something there. Yeah. So I want you to stay in the inquiry of that. And I know that you and I have some time we'll schedule together, and I definitely have some things for you that I think might be very useful around that. Yeah. And you're going to be coming into the freedom experience. So there's these are internal patterns that drive everything. Who was here on day number 1 when we went into the sales shadows? Either put your hand up or put yes in the chat. I just want to see here. And Sarah, were you here on when we talked about the sales shadows?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can't say I was being
Yeah.
able to be completely present through day one, but I was
That's
here.
okay. There's something driving everything. This is why strategy and mechanism and objective handling always go so far, because there's something driving how we feel. If the most powerful thing to influence a prospect is making them feel good about themselves, the problem is if we don't feel good about ourselves, then we become the biggest bottleneck, just like we talked about on Friday in the self OS. So even when learning the skills, we still become the bottleneck, right? Because we can only reframe ourselves so much without having that one internal pattern that's actually driving us feeling kind of shitty, right? Not feeling motivated, right? Not feeling motivated is a real thing. Like, how do you show up for someone else if you're just not feeling motivated? Has anyone ever been there before? Or maybe someone's there now, like not put the word yes in the chat where you're just like, I don't, and I hear this a lot from people, salespeople specifically that sell something. I just don't feel like taking calls anymore. Right? I don't feel like taking calls. I hope this person does not show up. Has anyone ever been in that place? It's like the most untalked about common thing. Not talked about. Put yes in the chat. Yeah. Yeah. And that's always comes back down to something internally is actually blocking you. It's in the way, right? That when that's there, it's because something is there creating that. Yeah. Yeah. And I've been there too. When I was making a lot of money, I mean, I remember it was 2023, January, and Matt Ryder, Jeremy Miner, they were using, because I was crushing it with Sales Sniper, and I hit my biggest month of selling $2 million in 1 month, $192,000 in commissions. I remember him sending emails out to everybody, like, we're the best, Sales Sniper's the best, our company's the best, we've got the #1 rep, blah, blah, blah. That was me. I read the email. I remember waking up one morning, I read the email. I was sitting in my apartment with my partner, and money was in the bank account, and I was completely not motivated. And truly, I was slightly depressed because I didn't feel like taking calls. I didn't feel like I didn't feel motivated to continue doing what I was doing. And I knew something was deeper on that was driving that. And the reason I tell that to you is because I uncovered what it was. Y'all want to know what it was? This might be really useful for all of you, because we all can make the most money we want in the world. But the one thing that was missing for me is I wasn't living my purpose. I was living someone else's purpose, someone else's vision. I wasn't living my vision. Wasn't living mine. I was selling someone else's thing. And because of that, I knew that I was meant for more than just that. And so didn't matter how much money I was making, I didn't feel like taking a sales call. I didn't care. I could make another 10K today or 10K this week. It didn't matter because I wasn't happy with where I was in my life. So that driving factor, I was denying it, right? I was pushing it down. No, 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 don't listen. And then whatever you deny or not allow becomes a shadow. We talked about this on day one, a part of you that you're repressing, but it controls you. Remember, we talked about this. There's the bus. We want this in life, but there's this bus that we're in, and these parts of us control us. These parts of us don't allow us to actually be happy or get what we want. They rob us from our power or happiness because we deny what we really want. So rather than trying to fix something, it's more, what am I not allowing? I'm not allowing passion. I'm not allowing myself to live my purpose. I'm not allowing myself to live my vision. I'm actually doing everything to do the opposite, which becomes a part of us that becomes a shadow. Not okay, not allowed. So I'm just sharing with you my story because this is real and this is normal. And this is a conversation that's really important to have. It's also, so I want to pause here for a second. Is there anything alive right now in this space from what I just shared and kind of the direction that we're going in this moment, that's alive, that we just want to open up. Who has an impulse? I say impulse, like a healthy impulse, meaning you like, oh, that resonates and I want to share, but I don't know if I should share. Is there someone here that come off mute, just share what's alive right now? What's coming up for you? Anybody? Just curious.
Well, it's Brian from yesterday.
Hey, Brian. Yeah.
I sometimes feel like I can't do what I want to do because kind of that ship sailed, and it's like I'm kind of in this because there's not as many options,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So I hear that. Yeah. Not many options. So you're in this doing this specific thing because there's not many options.
Yeah, I'm just trying to survive right now. I'm kind of in survivor
I'm
mode.
trying to survive. Yeah. Oof. I've been there a lot, man. I know what that's like. And can I share something with you that might be useful?
Yes.
I actually just trained on this. So one of the programs I have called the Sales Savvy Accelerator, we install identities and mindsets each week in our training. And the mindset we just installed 3 days ago was that everything is a story. Everything is a story. So what you just said is actually a story, right? It's a story which becomes your identity. So like it's this narrative that you operate in that's actually not true. It's an uninvestigated story that you now believe is truth, and then you act from it, and all of a sudden your life is this one giant story. And right? It's how you feel and how you think, but it's not truth, absolute truth. Right?
Okay. Now
what comes up for you when I say that?
Yeah, I mean, I think certain things that I've done or have happened in my life, not that I see myself as a victim, definitely play into how I see myself, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or it's my world. I've had
for sure
stuff happen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Lost a wife at 31. She was 31, had 4 kids. So, just crazy stuff like that.
4 kids. Yeah. I can relate. I got 4 kids. Yeah. And I hear that like you're not intentionally trying to be a victim. Like you're doing whatever it takes, man, at the current operating system that you currently have to get to do what you need to do to get to survive.
Yeah.
And I know about that because most of my life I was in survival mode. Up until 2018, I was just surviving. 19, I was surviving. I was not thriving. I was pretending I was thriving, showing the world one way, but truly I was not really thriving. I was surviving, trying to do what's required in order just to pay my bills, to feed my family.
Yeah.
So I get that. One thing that I learned in my experience, in my journey, was that not that I was being a victim, but I was actually being I was not being a victim, but I wasn't actually being in full ownership and responsibility. I was allowing my situation to dictate my actual results. So we injected 2 days ago living vision driven versus circumstance driven. And I want you to consider right now you're living circumstance driven. And I know you have a bigger fucking vision than you have right now. Right? So if we can just push a little bit more into acting daily from that 2.0 version of you that's like has a little bit bigger vision and taking action on that vision versus living in the circumstances of maybe something you don't want anymore, something that you don't want, right? Versus what do you actually want and executing from that, which takes you absolutely getting out of any fear or any kind of indecision or like it takes balls. It takes, I'm gonna say that like bluntly, it takes like a part of you to come online to like do something radically different, right? And I know that you know that already.
Yeah.
Oh. The hardest thing is letting go of what's working. I'm going to say this again. The hardest thing, most closers hang on to accounts. They sell on certain accounts because they're loyal to the business owner, yet they're getting fucked over. They're not getting paid. They're not making money, right? Because they're so loyal to the account or the person or the relationship. Some of you are in relationships you shouldn't be in because you're afraid to let go. No different than in business, no different than what you're selling, right? It's the same thing. And I say this because the hardest thing is to let go what's actually like working for you at a certain level degree. This is actually working. I'm getting something from this. I'm getting a secret payoff by staying here, right? But the letting go is how we actually go. It's how we get what we want, right? Very difficult to let go, to actually open up the space for like 100 other offers that just that exist versus the one that doesn't, right? And that 1.0 version is acting from scarcity versus abundance, that there's more available. And I know this because I was this for most of my life, living in scarcity, and that this is the only way, this is the only path, and attached to this thing. Anything else that you want to add to that?
Well, if I'm understanding you correctly, you're saying like basically even though I thought I was living more of a vision, I'm actually living more according to my circumstances. And
Yes.
secondly, I need to be willing to risk a little more to like find my place.
So like, yes. And when was it Wednesday, session 1, self-OS, one of the first things that I said, what don't you want anymore? Right. Why did I do that? And I don't think you were there.
No.
But because you're subconsciously maybe focusing on what you don't want versus what you want. So when you shift into what I want, and I'm talking every moment, every minute of the day, what do I want? What do I want? Not what you don't want, right? Because you're subconsciously potentially saying there, I don't want this anymore, so I'm going to keep creating it, right? All of a sudden, you start seeing different reality. It starts to open up possibility. What do I want right now? What do I really want? And then taking an action from that place. What do I want? What's the next step? What do I want? What's the next step? Progress every day to what I want, not what I don't want. What do I want? What's the next step? What do I want? What's the next step? What do I want? What's the next step? Right. It's not like, let's go to the gym. It's like, hey, let me just put the shoes on. Right. Next step. Next step. Yeah. So I do want to get into a call review. Okay. We're going to do that the last 15 minutes, but I do want to quickly, and I went through it a little bit deeper, longer yesterday, and I'm not going to do that today, but I want to invite you all into a quick opportunity. Okay. I think it will serve all of you, every single one of you here. When I say opportunity is, I have an experience that will allow you to literally get out of your own way permanently. So you get what you want faster. So you're living your vision, your purpose, you're living what you want. You're on the account that's allowing you to make $100,000 a month. You're on the account, you have the internal operating system to create the results you want in your life. Right? The internal operating system of $1 million a month earner. It's the internal operating system. It's the who that creates that. I'd love to share this opportunity with you. How many were here yesterday? Put the word yes in the chat if you were here yesterday. Okay, Sierra heard about it. Okay, cool. Sierra's actually is enrolled. She took one of the spots inside the experience. So congratulations to Sierra. Okay, so I just want to see who did hear about the opportunity. Anna Paula, you were there. Okay, cool. So I think a lot of you did hear about the opportunity. Rather than going through what I went through yesterday, I want to share something with you. Okay. I did not hear about it, Anna Paula. Oh, you did not. Okay. So I'm going to share with you a page I created. Okay. And by the way, do I have permission from all of you just to go through this opportunity? Okay. Just put in the chat if I had permission. I just want to make sure you all give me the permission to go through it. Okay. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to open up my screen here and I'm going to share this with you because this has the ability to truly change your life and your sales, the byproduct from it. This is the in freedom experience. Okay. Yesterday I went through like a PowerPoint version of this and it still is here. Okay. This is actually the PowerPoint right here. Okay. I went through it for about 25 minutes, right? if you're, this is it right here. Okay. But right now, I just want you to know that the path of becoming objectionless starts with mastering you and removing all the self-doubt, all the limitations. And actually, I'm going to come out of this because I think it's not needed right now. Okay. Because I just want to talk to you all. Okay. Is for the last two years, I've been working with thousands of closers. Right. And the biggest problem I found is that they become the problem. Even founders of companies currently work with right now, they always become the bottleneck, the self-imposed limitations. And what I've discovered is that every time I tried working with sales and strategy with closers or salespeople or sales leaders, I don't care where you are in the game. The problem is they became the problem again. Right? We would try to do a call review, but like their confidence was a little bit off, or they're being doubtful, or they're being insecure, or they're being hesitant, and that's now leaking on the call, right? Or they show up not on time because they don't have a standard of discipline to be on time. They don't know their purpose, or they're not. So like there's all these things that I would notice, and I'm like, I had to stop working with people about 2 years ago in sales because I needed to make sure that they were aligned as a man or a woman. So that I don't have to like fight for their, like see their demons and darkness and limitations show up. I needed them to coach themselves to make sure that they don't show up in our coaching. So I have a whole program called the Sales Savage Accelerator, where the first step of that, the first phase for everybody before we even talk about sales, is we need to align the person, right? And I call this death and rebirth of your current identity. That's actually the thing that's stopping you from getting what you want. And the way that we do this is through a 25-day immersion called the Freedom Experience. A 25-day immersion called the Freedom Experience. Now, in this Freedom Experience, you will not talk, walk, look, even speak the same ever again. Why do I say that? Because the current you that you are right now, the current you, is the you from past programming, right? The doubt that you're in, the part of you that is unsure, uncertain, the part of you that might feel lost, the part of you that shows the world one way and not the other. These are all parts of you that are controlling your income, your revenue, and your commissions. And so this whole 25-day immersion I built specifically for me of what I wish I had 10 years ago when I was stuck in addiction and I couldn't get out of this current way of thinking. I didn't know how to dismantle that. So I built this 3 years ago, and now I take every person through it, regardless of what level of the game they're in. And they don't show up the same. They don't walk the same. They don't look the same because the who that they thought they were wasn't really them. So now they can just be themselves, activated and living purpose-driven, living vision-driven, and taking action from their 2.0 self. Because we rebuild the operating system from scratch. We break it down, we rebuild it in 25 days. 10 years of therapy in 48 hours, people have called it. I've had 47 people go through this experience. I had 2 people come on yesterday, talk about how life-changing it was. Life-changing, 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 life-changing. And I share this with you because I'm going to invite you into this experience. Okay. I do this every 2 to 3 months. We do cohorts of 10 people. I've got 7 cohorts that I've done so far. We're going to go on our 8th cohort. The biggest gift I could give to you is this experience. I'm so confident that it will change your life and the amount of money in your bank account and how valuable it is that it's a money back guarantee. I don't want your money if you don't feel it was valuable or transformational. I don't. I've got some spots left. We opened up spots yesterday. I've had people already enroll from a couple of weeks ago, and we're starting next week. It's for those that know there's a next level inside of them, know they're capable of more, and they know that they want it now. And they're tired of putting it off. They're tired of playing small. They're tired of allowing themselves to tolerate the status quo. I'm coaching you every day. I'm ruthlessly coaching you to your 2.0 self. You're in a group cohort of 15 other people. You rise together and you get results together. And by the end of 25 days, you are executing the 2.0 target that you want. Meaning if you want to make 50K, 100K a month, You've now built the internal operating system to create that. And so we have spots left. It's 10 grand to come into the experience. It is. People pay that right now that are currently before this masterclass. I did something really wild. I said, you know what? I want to make this easy for everybody here because you're all here. You showed up, and I added my entire pit to peak transformational selling framework, right? That I sell for $2,500. I added multiple other bonuses that are worth like double the amount. Okay. And it's all on this page here. For those that want to also upgrade their sales operating system, right? I added a bonus one-on-one session with me, which I charged $2 grand for, where I'm gonna upgrade your internal operating system with you privately. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do, give you a tool, and we're also going to create $5,000 in your bank account in the next 30 days. This is bonuses I added to it. Okay. I'm trying to make this easy for all of you that this is already a yes for. Okay. I've also, so I've discounted to $5,000, right? I'm also going to add an additional 30% discount for those of you that get started today. Okay. So there's a discount code. It's inside this page here. It's 30% off. So it'd come down to $3,500, or you can do installments for $700 a week for 6 payments. So it'd be $4,200, still a discount. So I just want to share this all with you. For those that are called to it, this is available. So this is the page right here. I'm going to open it up and just share what it looks like. And let's see. There we go, right here. So we have 2 days until enrollment ends. This is the video of the full entire 25 minutes, but I pretty much give it a nutshell. The freedom experience, you get the self from presence, which is Savage Skill 1, self from subconscious. These are all just different bonuses. Call review vault, internal weapons vault, and then you get other bonuses as well. Again, this what you'll do if you want to do this. Just go ahead and lock in your spot right here. Click right here. $3,500. You'll save $1,500. This is good through Sunday, the 30% off code. If you want to finance it and just pay $200 a month, Klarna or Afterpay, you can do that. If you want to, I have other financing options. You just pay $500. We will meet next week and explore other financing options. If we cannot get an option for you, then we'll refund that. That's fine. But know that Klarna and Afterpay, generally a lot of people do that. Book a call if you do a deposit with me or my team, and we'll come up with a custom payment plan if necessary for the financing. But you still will need to put the 30% off code. The deposit you won't, just so you know. So 100% money back guarantee. All right, as I talked about, book your onboarding call. And then this is actually 15 people that talk about their experience. If you want to look at that, it's just proof of the evidence of the transformation for people that have gone through it as well here. So does anyone have any questions about this? Because I'm not going to cover any deeper on this. I just want to make sure that I gave you all the opportunity. Those that do want to upgrade their internal operating system, the self OS, and the sales OS, the basic framework is in there as well, so you can master sales at the same time. Does anyone have any questions for me? I'm dropping that in the chat. Anyone have any questions for me? Any questions at all? That is in the chat. So if you want a spot, grab that spot and it is there. Any questions while I'm here on that specifically? If there is a question, put it in the chat. If there is a question, put that in the chat. And if there's no question, then that's perfectly fine too. How much is one-on-one? How much one-on-one do you get? Abraham. Man, you get me every single hour. So this is a very accelerated process. Basically 12 months of coaching into 25 days. You get me for 25 days one-on-one. 25 days. Literally 24 hours a day. And I'm not kidding. This is why I only do this every 3 months. Because it's rapid acceleration. So I need to be in your nervous system. I need to be in your mind. I need to be in your energy. I need to know you. In order for you to transform internally, I need to know you, right? And I'll get to know you I'll get to know your patterns, your darkness, your limitations, so we can actually break through them all. So you can make the money that you want. So it's everyday coaching, access every single day with specific protocols that I'm going to have you do and complete. And I'm going to be coaching you directly every single moment, every single day, along with other people. So you get access to me directly. Okay. Does that answer your question? And you get me, well, next week, we'll do a one-on-one session and create a game plan for your internal operating system and also your sales game. Okay. And how's your sales game? Cool. So I'd hop in there right now because there are 300 people in the masterclass. I've got only 15 spots. I've only got 9 left right now. And once I email this out, which I have not done yet, technically I haven't done that yet, and invite other people in, they will be gone. So this is an opportunity for all of you that are like ready to roll. I've got you. Any other questions? Any other questions? No other questions. If there's any questions, drop them in the chat. Okay. Perfect. So there is one other opportunity. Okay. I'm going to just briefly go through with you. For some of you that are, listen, I like, you're new to my world and you're like, wow, like I want to do this, but I'm not 100%. And you want to experience my world first. If you want to come into, if I gave you full access to everything for 7 days, to everything, the same system I used to close $25 million, like everything, access to everything that on my end, including coming into 3-hour training with me live, not this type of training, but actually into my experience, into my world. Basically, it's not committing to the freedom experience. That's a very different experience, but you actually get access to everything that I built that made me $2 million. So I have an access pass for $100 for some of you that want to just access and get a taster for this, a deeper. It's not the freedom experience. This is full access to pretty much all these things here. The execution sales vault, the internal execution weapons vault, the pit to peak identity selling system. You get all of it, plus 3 hours with me in the war room training we do every week. And you also get a 30-minute onboarding session. It's not an implementation coaching session, it's an onboarding session. So if that interests you, you'll go to this link right here. It's only $100. Okay, this link right here. It is only 7-day access to all the Savage Selling system, and we will do a 30-minute onboarding, myself or my team, probably with my team. So that'll give you an experience to like be in my world a little bit more. And if we have spots available for the freedom experience, likely we won't, but if we do, then you're welcome to join after that. And the price will not be 30% off. It'll be $10K for the experience, right? It'll be $10K for the experience. What we do normally in registration is $5,000 up front, and then we do after the transformation, we do the second balance, just so you're aware. So you will be paying more if you don't come in between now and Sunday. And I just want to make sure that that's super clear, so that if anyone wanted to come in later, that's what we charge for the actual experience. But you're welcome to come in. We'd love to have you in for even the $100 experience. You get access to everything. You get access to everything. I have all my courses. I've got about 12 different courses on sales, the Savage Selling System. You get access to everything. Plus, we'll meet one-on-one. You come in coaching with me live for the 3 hours next week on Tuesday. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. We're going to wrap it up with, let's see, is Anna Paula still here? No, because we were going to look at a sales call with her. Okay. Let's do a Q&A since she's not here. We're going to drop a call and do some Q&A to do a call audit. Let's do a sales Q&A. Who has questions about their offer, about sales? Who's got questions about mindset? Who's got questions? You can ask me any question that you like. I'm here to answer any question. So Carlos, Giselle, Connie, Abraham, Aaron, Sierra, Jennifer, if you have any questions about sales, about objections, about the pitch, discovery, about the process, about anything we covered over the last 3 days, right? We talked about the self-OS. We talked about the skills today, embodied influence. What questions do you have for me that I can answer for you? What questions? I'm here for you all. So if we don't have any questions, we don't have any questions. What can I coach you all on? How can I coach you? What can I coach you on? What can I coach you with? What's the struggle? What's the struggle? What can I coach you on? Any questions in the chat?
I feel like I'll go through all my questions with you in my one-on-one.
Yeah. We could definitely go deep on that for sure. We will. I'm excited about that. Very excited about that. Giselle, as a new closer, what would you feel would be the best place to focus on first? Yeah, that's a good question. It's also a very question that is a little bit vague. And what I mean by that is I need more context. Because if I only know, I don't know what that means. A new closer. Does that mean you're on an account brand new? Does that mean you are? So I'm gonna bring you in the coach seat, the coach hot seat here. Are you good with that, Giselle? Can we have a chat so I can get to know you, so I can really help you? Yes. Are you available for audio at least? Let me know if you're down for that, because I can really coach you best. Just give me a yes in the chat, because there's so many variables, like where you're at in your journey, so I can really help you out. Sorry, I can't do audio. Okay. So as a new closer, I can text. Okay, cool. So as a new closer, what do you feel would be the best place to focus on first? Are you on an offer? My question is, and what's your goal as a closer? Are you working a 9-to-5 job? Are you a setter? Right? Are you in the sales space? That's why there's a lot of variables here. So I can truly help you, I would need to know a little bit more context on you, so I can make sure I can really give you the best guidance to support you in your journey. So if you can let me know a little more on your situation, that would be helpful. I've only started on the first account and closings for the first time for the last 3 months on an AI account. Amazing. So you're on an offer. I'm only started on the first account and closing for the first time. Okay. So you want to know what's the first best places to focus on first? In order to what? What is your outcome? See, we got to link everything to a North Star. We got to link everything to an outcome. For what outcome? What is the outcome that you want? So you're on an AI account. You started closing. What is the actual outcome that you truly want as a closer? What is the outcome that you want? And this is really important for all of you as well, right? So like questions reveal everything. And so we need to know where we're going, right? Especially with the prospect. But like right now, we as humans need to know, where are we going? What do we actually want? Like, where are we going? I guess to close sales and perfect the process. Okay, so thank you for saying that. So Giselle wants to close more sales. Okay, got it. So if you want to close more sales, the question becomes, what's the lowest hanging fruit right now to close more sales? What's the lowest hanging fruit to close more sales right now? Right? That's the answer to the question. Because if you want to close more sales, what is the low hanging fruit? What's the leverage point? What are you not doing to close more sales? Right? It could be follow up. It could be booking referrals. It could be booking your own appointments in. There's a lot of things you can do to make more sales now without learning more sales skills. There's a lot of things that you can do. So what are you not doing or avoiding? And this is for all of you as well. We can absolutely add an additional 30 to 50% more money in your bank account just by doing the shit that you know you're not doing, that you need to do, right? Booking more calls, booking referrals, doing more follow-ups. And I know a lot of you know that, right? So then the reason I say all this is number two. If you're not doing it, and you're still struggling and lacking the discipline, if you're lacking the ability to actually do the thing that you say you're going to do, then it becomes an internal operating system problem. So then, to answer your question, if that's the case, if you're struggling to actually do the things necessary to get what you want, then to answer your question, the thing to focus on first as a new closer is to get into the freedom experience. And I'm not kidding. We have to break your pattern that's causing you not to actually get what you want. I'm just being honest with you. Because if that pattern, if that's where I would focus for any new closer, if it's not skill related, right? And they're not doing the thing that they want to do, then it's getting in their way of what they want, which is closing more sales. We got to actually solve the you bottleneck and align you as a person. So that's my answer for you. Abraham, what health practices have you done, Patrick, that's helped you immensely operate at your best when you started to close in a high ticket? What health practices have you done that's helped you immensely operate at your best? Yeah, health practices that improved my career. I love your question because you said to improve my career. But I want to reframe that question for you because I didn't do something in order to get something. So I didn't improve my health in order to improve my career. Because the way I'm reading this question here is what my experience of it is like, wait a second. How did I take care of myself in my health that improved my career? So I improved my health and my career automatically got better. So just reframing it that I didn't do it to improve my career. But as I started to optimize me as a man, specifically, and I'm going to give you like two things that I did, it helped me show up more powerfully in my career, optimize my state. It helped me so that I can feel good about myself, so that I can be confident, right? And be more effective at the work. One of them specifically is making sure that every single day I have a non-negotiable of taking care of my body. My body is my power source. Your body is your weapon. Your body gives you power. So the first thing to do every day is to ensure that you optimize your body. Because when your body is optimized in the morning and you feel powerful in your body, it leaks into your mind. It leaks into the mind and it leaks into your energy. And then it leaks into your performance and it leaks into you being more effective at whatever your career that you're doing. So I was overweight most of my life than I was not overweight. I was 100 pounds heavier multiple times, struggling with my own inner battles. That's why when I lost the weight, when I sustained it, keeping it off was a priority for me. So the non-negotiable that I create for myself every single day is that I am the most important person in the world, and I create power in my body. My body creates power. And so my body creates the power, and then I show up more powerfully. And it's true, factually and scientifically. When we move our body and we sweat every day, we open up the mind to like possibility, right? The mind just changes, the neuroscience of the mind, right? The way we show up and our state and energy changes. So that's number one. Number two is self-regulation. So when we're in this fight or flight state of high anxiety, we don't actually control the anxiety, and the anxiety becomes who we are, then we're always constantly fighting against resistance, fighting. We're always in resistance. We're always in reaction. The objection comes up or the partner comes up and we're reacting to the partner, reacting to the situation. and we don't slow down, take a breath and regulate ourselves. So self-regulation is number 2. To take care of your health, my health. What changed me as a man the most after that was being the ability to emotionally regulate myself and to feel my emotions and to express them and allow them. Because then I could be present with the person or the situation or the circumstance and deal with it rather than react to it and consciously create the results that I wanted from intention. Yeah. Yeah, you're so welcome. Oh, Abraham, so glad that was helpful. So glad it was helpful. Yeah. Now, okay. There's more. I could definitely share more, but I think that's enough for now. I'll take one more question before we wrap up the 3-day masterclass. I'll take one more question. Who's got a question for me before we wrap up the final 3rd day here? Yeah. Who's got a question for me? Anybody? Any question? Sales, life, relationships, whatever you want to, whatever question you have. I'm here for y'all. And I'd love to continue the magic with you. Like I said, if you're still here, I don't think it's an accident. I really don't. We had 300 people sign up, right? And look how many are here right now. This is freaking awesome. So if y'all want to continue this, like for real, get into at least the next 7 days. Let's continue the magic. I'll give you access to all my stuff. Like we'll help you out, and I'll help you out, and we'll do more coaching. So, but if not, if there's no more questions, then we will wrap this up from here. We'll wrap this up from here. So I'll leave you all with this. This is what I'm called to share, is that we're all meant for more than we have right now, all of us. We're all meant for more than we have right now. And the only reason that we don't have more is because we have not made the decision to choose it. We have not allowed ourselves to choose the thing that we want and actually say yes to ourselves. We want more, but the next step to having more is choosing it, choosing the more. And so this is an opportunity for you to choose your more, choose your next, choose your thing. What is it you want? What do you want more of? And choose that, allow that, accept that, and go after that. So last 3 days, we covered self-OS and optimizing yourself, right? 3 operating systems required in order to hit 10, 20, 50, 100K months. And if you're a business owner, like the business that goes from 100 to a million to multiple millions, like there's 3 operating systems that are required. Self, the sales operating system, and skills. Self is the most important one. You must choose yourself. You must choose yourself first. It always starts with you. You. You must choose to get better and improve yourself in sales. Get better at sales. Get better at sales. So you can help those on the other side that are stuck. That the sales is the mechanism that you support them in to get them what they want. And doing that through new skills. So I'll leave y'all with that. Y'all have a great rest of your day, night, evening, wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you again next time. See you later.